Hi, my name is Angel Dobson. I'm going to just take a few moments to talk to you about blended families or my experience as being a part of a blended family. Currently, I have two daughters. One is a goddaughter, and the other is my daughter that I gained at marriage. So, what advice can I give to you when you're dealing with blended families? Blended when you're blending your life with lives that have already began before you became a part of them. And one of the first things I want to tell you is patience, patience, patience is going to be the key. Don't worry if you don't have any now. Believe me, you will gain it as you go through this experience. You will gain a lot of patience. We're all different. We come from different backgrounds. We're raised differently, and so when you take those aspects and bring them together, sometimes there can be a little bit of friction. But in the midst of it, there can be so much fun, and you can gain so much from it. And I'm a witness to that. I am a product of blended families. Both of my parents at my birth were married, but later divorced and remarried. And so I have the benefit of having stepmother as well as stepfather. And I could give information. I gained a lot. Let's put it that way. I gained a lot from those particular situations that helped me when I became the head or co-parent of a blend, in blended families. So my first daughter, I told you, is a goddaughter, who I did not give birth to, but has literally been in my life for all of her life. I used to pick her mother up and take her places when she was pregnant with her, and then later she asked me if I would be her godmother. And so then when she went back to work after she was born, I'm talking about her mom went back to work when after she was born, then I began to babysit her because she didn't have anybody to keep her. And so basically from the time she was 6 weeks old, she's been in my life so much so that now she lives with me. So when she graduated high school and wanted to go to college, by that time I had moved away from the city of my birth. And so she wanted to come and live with me. So she lives in my family. And then the other daughter I told you, I gained her when I got married. So patience is going to be the key. What I say about children is that they are little people. I call them little people. They have all the feelings and emotions we have. They just don't have the experiences that we've had. So the way they garner information, the way they process it, is totally different. But they have their own way. And we, as their parents and guardians, have to be in a place where we can nurture that. And it can be hard in a blended family. Why do you say so? Because the things that you taught, that you teach or believe in your house may not be the things that are taught, or it definitely may not be reinforced when they're with their other birth parent. That can be extremely difficult. So, communication is another word I will give you that is vitally important. Depending on the age of the child, things are much harder when they are smaller because they don't understand. But as they grow older and they begin to understand the things that are going on, communicate with them. Don't leave them out. Now, I mean, I don't believe that they should have a part in adult conversations, but at their age level, we should give them insight into what's going on, why the decisions that we're making them, because, there are more than just them involved. There is the entire family to consider. And so we have to bring them in so they have a knowledge and level of understanding. And that can definitely comes when there can be peace between the adults, at least a level of understanding and communication so that we don't bring them into our issues. That is very, very important because we don't want to create a hostile environment. You do not want to downplay or dog out, if I could use that term, the other parent because they don't do things the way you want them done. There was a reason why that relationship did not work. And so then you all came, you're not together anymore, but that's not the child's fault. And so it's very important that you communicate with them on their level so they can understand the things that are going on. And that leads me to my last point, a word or keyword that is really vital, and that's understanding. Understanding where that child is coming from. They're not going to understand you. Again, you're the adult. They're not going to understand you, but you've got to put yourself in their shoes, kind of walk in their footsteps a little bit to understand. Again, they're little people. They don't know how to deal with their emotions. They're learning everything. They're seeing things done 2 or 3 different ways sometimes. Because remember, I told you I had 2 different households. And so I had to learn what was acceptable at one house may not be acceptable at another house. And then how one house does it, how my mom did it was different from how my father did it. And then their spouses were totally different. So that gave me a head start. So you may not have that. If you grew up with both of your parents and then you become part of a blended family, that can be quite difficult for you. So understanding that, depending on the situation, they may have been ripped out of what was comfortable for them, and it may not have been a good experience. So you have to understand where they are coming from and kind of understand things from their point of view and their level. Now, I totally agree in you being the parent. We are very much the parents in this house. We are very much the heads of this household, but we also give them opportunity to speak, give them opportunity to speak their minds. Let us know where they are in a respectful way, as long as they're doing it respectfully, in a respectful way. And then we take those things into consideration. And my husband and I talk a lot about them and what's next, what we're trying to do. And so we have created a united front. And that's what I call it, a united front. Again, it is and it isn't us against them. But, we've made it so that they can't bypass one and get to the other, because the way we have designed things, it's, what did your dad say about that? Have you talked to your mom about that? And then when we come together, it's like, one of them said this, one of them said that. What did you say? What did you say? And then we can discuss things together. And when you do that, everybody has the communication. Everybody understands everything. And I tell them all the time, your dad and I talk about everything. They're like, how do you know? I didn't tell you. We talk about everything. And so, we will sit there in front of them and talk about them. And they're like, are you talking about me? We're like, absolutely, yes, we are. We talk about you all the time. So those are the things that I would share without, going really in depth on one subject or another. Just talking about, blended families and coming together, different people from different backgrounds coming together and creating one family. Whether you're blood or not, you're my family now. I love you. I love my girls as if I gave birth to them, and I will give my life for them. And I hope and I pray and I try every day to make sure that they know that, that they are aware that they are in the midst of loving parents that are nurturing them and they want to see them grow and want to see them excel. Just because I was not there the day you were born, and just because you did not, literally come from my loins, that does not mean that you are not the most important person or people in my life. And so patience. Like I said, if you don't already have it, you will gain it. Understanding and communication are going to be the key in making your blended family successful. The last thing I would tell you is don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. My household is not like any that I grew up in. It's not like any that I have seen, but it works for us. And we have a great time. We love each other. We laugh. We joke. It's wonderful. Make your house the way you want it to be. Make the atmosphere what you desire it to be. You have that power. You have that ability to make it whatever you want it to be every single day. Wake up with the notion, with the intention that this is going to be a great day for my family. And everything you do, put towards making it just that. You have that power, you have that ability. Your family may be blended, but let it be the best family that you've ever been a part of. Why? Because you're a part of it and because you're intentional about what you're doing. I hope some of this has helped you. I hope that what I've said may encourage you, strengthen you, and uplift you. And thank you for listening.